So I'm really stoked about jumping into all of that stuff. But before we do that, I just want to say, let's go, Brandon.
I love that. That's so
Have
good.
you?
Listen, I in the car, there's two versions of it that are really popular,
Yeah?
and I have you heard both of them?
No, I only got the one.
Which one?
Well, no, I mean I've heard the original, and then I've heard the
The
sanitized
Lola
version.
Alexander one.
No, I haven't heard that.
Yeah. Anyways, there's two of them. They're pretty. I mean, I enjoy them because I like hip hop.
Oh, okay.
But I was showing my son, explaining to him in the car, like, hey, this is what it means and everything, and then they've been saying it quite a bit.
Okay. Well, so I assume you didn't like explain the original meaning, but actually just kind of like what people are saying when they say "Let's go, Brandon." But I thought what's really cool, man, is that you can think whatever you want to about like the phrase or whatever, because there's a lot of people who are like pearl clutching now, like that's so vulgar because of its original like meaning,
Right.
which I think is just ridiculous. Coming from like a community of people that are supposed to be pearl clutchers, right? So I just think it's very convenient that when we do that. But nonetheless, it's so interesting to me that like I don't know the guy's name. It may be who you just said, but the rap song with "Let's Go Brandon" that became #1 on iTunes and knocked Adele off of her #1 spot. I just thought like, dude, that is an indication of the power of culture.
It's a huge indication, and it's a huge indication of like the groundswell, like of how people really feel about what's going on in our country.
Yeah.
Because it's two songs on the top spots.
Okay,
it's
so
different. It's two
tell
different
me about the
songs.
two songs because I
So
know the
it's,
one rap song.
Bryson Gray.
Okay, I think that's one.
Who
I know.
he had songs back when Trump was president on like Trump Train and like Donald Trump is your president. Like he had some pretty catchy songs.
Okay.
So he came out with a song that doesn't have any curse words in it.
Okay.
And he's a professing Christian. And then this other guy, Lola Alexander, I think is his name. He came out with one after and he has like the original chant from the race car track and all that stuff. So
Okay.
But there's two songs trending at like #1 and #3 right now.
Yeah. See, I think the catchiness of it. See, I think people will miss this, and maybe I think too much. My wife says I do. Like you're overthinking things, which is better than underthinking, I suppose. But I think it's really. I think it's taken off because it has two meanings. One is that it's an expression of how people feel about the present administration. But then two, it's also an expression about people's frustration over media because of the way the Let's Go Brandon thing started, which was a woman who was trying to kind of like reframe what was actually going on at that NASCAR event when they were actually using the expletive.
Right.
And then she's like, oh, they're chanting, "Let's go, Brandon." And it was such a like classic example of the media spinning the obvious.
Right.
And it's just like common sense is dead in our society. People are frustrated about it. And so "Let's Go Brandon" became this kind of cry against the administration, but also the media too.
Yeah. Now, would you wear a sweatshirt that said "Let's Go Brandon"?
I don't know. I see people get me wrong about this, and maybe you too. I'd be interested to hear. People think that what I do is twofold, probably wrong. Is one, political in nature, and I don't think it is, and then two, that I'm just will say whatever, and I try to be really really careful whenever I say anything that I say. So I would do it for my sake, but I wouldn't do it maybe for the sake of other people. But I don't know. Would you?
I think I have the same thoughts. I mean, there's the temptation just to rock it.
Yeah.
But then, thinking about maybe conversations that would not happen because of just first glance at the shirt.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think it's always wise to have that kind of introspection, but of course you can get in your own head and you can stifle conversation as well by trying to by censoring yourself too much. I think I've kind of leaned too far to that side.
Right. It's like punk rock, right?
Yeah.
There's that 80s culture movement that's like rebellion against everything. It's weird that a sweatshirt that says that would be kind of similar to that movement,
Yeah. By the way, I got to say one more thing about this before we jump into the actual kind of subject of conversation is so you talking about or us talking about "Let's Go Brandon" made me think of in Bryson Gray made me think of Floyd Mayweather, just because both outspoken black men. So Floyd Mayweather, like yesterday, defended Kyrie Irving in his stance for his resistance to the vaccine mandate, which I just thought was really, really cool. And maybe this is a good segue because I posted something today that goes along with something that might be like get people a little bit riled up. And I posted Floyd's video, which he just basically says, this country's supposed to be about choice. This country's supposed to be about the freedom to be, to choose and to be who you want to be. And Kyrie's using that choice, and so he's supporting Kyrie for not wanting to get the vaccine, and the NBA choosing to, sideline him until he gets the vaccine. And so I posted his video, and then at the end of the video on my stories, I wrote, let's see how many people on the left actually stand up for black voices that are speaking truth to power now. And so I'm just thinking to myself, in my mind, that frames culture in such a way that shows where I think we're missing a lot of things, because there's a lot of talking points out there, but I don't think there's a lot of like really digging into reality and what's really going on, like trying to dig underneath that stuff.
Right.
No, so hopefully that's what I'm doing, and I think, that's what you guys are doing at our church.
Yeah. No, there's a controlled narrative out there, and it has many different facets. But even like Nicki Minaj came out and said she just felt nervous because she heard stories about some family members in Trinidad that had some adverse side effects from the vaccine, so she was going to just give it pause to give more research, and then Joy Reid came out and just blasted her. Yeah. I mean, even Ice Cube he turned down a movie role. I think he walked away from $6 to $9 million. Yeah, because he's not ready to get it.
I mean, if Alec was on the movie, I understand why he walked away, but nonetheless, yeah. So I'm thinking, wow, it's such an important time for us as Christians to kind of enter into the public sphere, to have these conversations, and to not be too quick to duck behind platitudes.
You can catch brand new episodes of Indie Thinker with Reed Uberman every Monday, and weekly bonus episodes to keep you thinking throughout the week. But you have to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when new episodes drop. If you enjoy this content, make sure to like this video and share it with friends.